live now. By the way, feel free to unmute yourself, to speak up. If you want, you can turn on your camera, you can turn it off as you wish. It's not, nothing is actually required here. We don't have hard rules. Hi, Ilya. So we have some people here. That's nice. We are going live right now. I think we should be live by now. So I want to welcome all of you, and people will be joining as we are starting the call. Hey, hi everyone who has joined recently. So that's we will talk today about all different community, not community actually, sorry, cloud cloud ambassadors programs. That's the word ambassadors is being used in such kind of programs frequently. Sometimes it's called champions or with some different like names. What it is basically is there are many cloud or different tech companies out there, and they often have this kind of community programs where they would take power users and empowers them by calling them such things as ambassadors, for example, putting their profile on their website and asking them to promote the particular platform or technology. So that's probably a lot of you have heard about Microsoft MVP program, which is a pretty old one. Its MVP stays for Microsoft Valuable, no, sorry, Most Valuable Professional. And yeah, that's as I said, that's an early program, like started probably like 15 years or 12 years ago. I don't know, something like this. Yeah, I have a presentation with 10 slides or so I brought with me today. Hi, Matthias. Hi, everyone who has joined. Let's just quickly introduce yourself if you want to at all. You can also use chat to say hi and where you're from. I'm located out of Germany. I'm Karen. I'm the founder of the Cloud Study Network community. And yeah, I will pass the word to anyone who is willing to introduce themselves. Oh, Oki is writing that she cannot hear anything. Or I don't know. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? I hope so. Okay, great. I have a sign from Matthias. Okay. Bhavesh is writing that he's from India. He is preparing for AWS certification. That's great. Then I have a next question. Do we have here anyone who is a member of any ambassador program right now? Like either with a cloud computing company or any tech company out there? If yes, please speak up or drop it into our chat. I can only say about myself, I'm since like a couple of years, I'm a AWS community builder. They have this kind of program going on. Hi, Chi. Do you want to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Chi from Cameroon, and I'm AWS community builder as well.
A fellow community builder here. Nice, nice, great. So we have at least one other than me who is a ambassador, whatever, part of the program. Anyone else? Any AWS heroes here? Google developer experts or anything else? Microsoft MVPs? Seems like no, but that's okay. That's probably what brought you here, just to learn a little bit about these different programs. And by the way, it's not a webinar. Formally, it's not like a presentation here. We want to make it more like a discussion. So to have some substance to talk about, I will put put up some presentation. I will go through the presentation, but feel free to jump in anytime and interrupt me, or just ask any questions or add your experience. Okay, let me then proceed and share here a presentation. Okay. By the way, I will drop also the link to the presentation here in the chat. You can follow along or just go through it. We have more people joining. That's great. Let's see who it is. Ali. Okay. Okay. Now, by now, you have to see, you should be able to see my presentation. Let's go into the presentation mode. Yeah, that's what we will be talking about. Today is March 3rd. As a community name is there, and the link below on this slide is actually our GitHub repository, where we have a very rough overview of all different ambassador programs out there. And if you know anything else what is not listed there, you can always create a pull request and submit it, and we will review it and approve it if it's appropriate. Basically, what we're trying to do. Our organization on GitHub is called Cloud Community. We have plenty of different repositories. Most of them are very helpful. You can browse through them if you want, but particularly this repository is about everything about ambassador programs. So yeah, that's an active link. You can click it on slides. Okay, let's proceed. That's basically the agenda for today. We will start talking about AWS Community Builders program. And the second one is AWS Heroes. Then there's AWS Partner Ambassadors, which is a pretty exotic one, but still we will slightly cover it. There is a very popular Google Developer Experts, Microsoft, yet another popular Microsoft Most Valuable Professional program, Cloud Native Ambassador. It's like under the radar for many people, but it's a really active program which is going on, and it's basically company neutral. It's runs under the foundation of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, and there are some more which we listed also as well. Okay, and by the way, again, if you will have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask anytime. Okay, let's proceed. So the AWS Community Builders program, it's a pretty new one that probably exists for the last 2 years or so, maybe slightly longer, but not much longer than that. The entry level is relatively low because they take a lot of people actually there. Down below on this slide, you have you see the homepage. You can go there. You can. Right now, they don't take any new applications, but it's just because they have completed just recently, I think like a few weeks ago or maybe months ago, the latest batch or cohort of people. So you have to wait like a couple of months, or I think they haven't stayed when they would open the applications again. So the requirement is you have to be adult, like you have to be at least 18 years old. The geographical distribution is not restricted. I don't know, like I don't know any restricted countries there. Maybe there are some, like a couple of countries that I don't know. But generally, it's welcome that the geography is very diverse. So if you are from rather exotic locations, that's even more welcome. What is required else? There's no hard requirements there, or like it's also not very strict as well. So you can, if you have produced any AWS content whatsoever, like given a presentation or written a blog post or answered some questions on Stack Overflow, that would be like really nice. And just if you have like a few references, what is important is that the content that you want to submit there as a proof of your as a requirement basically, um, it should be accessible publicly. So it shouldn't be like some private stuff that you need like a behind a paying wall or something like this. It should be like people should be able to open it publicly on the internet and prove that it's your content and so on. But yeah, there are no hard restrictions what it should be. So, and they run this program. They take new members every year, twice a year actually. So they have different times during the year when they collect new submissions and then review them and approve many of them actually. So during each submission they approve like hundreds of people. If I'm not completely mistaken, it's like closer to 5, sometimes 600 people per batch or per cohort. Maybe they are not doing it as on such a big scale right now as before when I joined the program. But it's still like plenty of people are getting improved, and that's why the entry level is relatively low here. Um, Highly recommended. Among goodies that you get, that's some nice swag sent to you across the world. You get every single year. If you are still staying as an active community builder, AWS community builder, you get like 500 bucks of AWS credit that you can redeem for your own experimentation, production, like environment, whatever it's required. Um, there are plenty of exclusive webinars that they run for you, like maybe every second week or so. There is a separate Slack space where all the community builders can have conversations and getting all the updates and announcements and so on. So Chi, you are here and you said that you're also a member of the community builder program by AWS. Can you like share your experience here? Like how is it going for you? How long are you into the program?
Well, in terms of length, I've just been in the community for not up to 6 months, I guess 4 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's quite been interesting. Especially the sessions you have. They have quite good sessions on. It depends on the because when you join the community program, you need to choose a specialty. And someone like me, I'm for networking and content delivery. So we have a particular channel on Slack dedicated for that, and we have content being created every week. And we also have um, we also have some kind of a question and answer sessions where I can call it that, but it's just something that once you when you're working and you have an issue, you come and you post on the Slack channel. You see other community experts in that direction. They try to answer your questions and they give you a lot of help. And when you have meetings, you have programs you want to promote, the community also gives you help. They send you speakers, and there are a lot of added advantages that comes with the community. You are opportune to hear about AWS new announcements and all the light, as well as not forgetting the swags. The swags are also cool. You have all those swags, no matter where you are in the world. Your swags will definitely get to you, and the credits too. The 500 credits that your $500 credit that you get is really good. You can be able to do labs and paid labs, like all those resources that normally have to be a burden to you from your credit card. You can just do them now and take them down whenever you like. So for me, it's quite a great opportunity, given the fact that the entry level too is not very high. Because I'll just say, if you're above 18 and you've written any content on AWS, you can always just shoot your shot. I'm definitely sure you're going to be accepted. The entry level is really not high, so it's a good opportunity to try.
Yeah, absolutely. I can only confirm all the words. Um, we have a question here in the chat from Bavesh. The first question is, can I join AWS Community Builder if I don't have posted any article or anything yet? My writing is not that good. Um, Generally, if you don't have anything to prove that you are kind of a valuable community builder, potential community builder member for AWS, I think that will be rather more difficult, and that would be like hugely beneficial to have at least like a couple of examples of your content or anything like how you contribute. What they are looking for basically in this program is that you will be an active community AWS community contributor, and how you will be doing it is pretty much up to you. They have like plenty of different opportunities there, and it's listed here. It's could be just a blog post, could be video. What is video? It's a video tutorial. You can like turn on your camera and either with a talking head or without talking head, you can just go through the presentation. um, Something related to AWS, maybe general cloud computing, but also including the AWS features. um, and being an open source contributor, if there is something related to AWS on GitHub, you can potentially find it and have some contributions, not necessarily contributing code, maybe fixing some texts or like providing translation to a particular project. That's also possible. And then you can always refer to it in an open way. It should be an open project, not a private repository. This is where you have to pay attention. um, Presentations, Stack Overflow answers or questions, maybe Reddit contributions like Reddit comments. That's all possible. And you know what? You are, Bhavesh, particularly you are like a long time um, community member of our community. So if you just want to give a presentation on any AWS topic or like general cloud computing topic, which would involve also AWS, just feel free to ping me. We will provide you a slot. You will give a talk and we will record it and upload it to our YouTube channel, or it will be streamed simultaneously. And here's one content that you would require for this kind of application. So, and you can have a second one as well. And that's your portfolio. Like it's not that hard. So the answer is you can try without any what you will usually need to provide is your LinkedIn profile, your Twitter profile. Maybe they will review it as and consider it as well, like what is your social media following, what's your content you're putting out there, is it relevant for them? If so, if you are such a great asset for them potentially, but don't have any content as of now, they might still decide for you. But I mean, the chances are much, much higher if you have at least some content that you can already provide and show. Okay, let's go to the second question.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we go into the second question, I just want to say something real quick. I think the entry level of this program is really low because what AWS is looking for is to produce content creators. They are not looking for experts, because when you join the program, there are a lot of sessions you're going to have on creating content. So what they're really looking for here is just that someone with that initiative, that someone without zeal that can do something for the people. And when they see that you have that, it's either like they say, either with the video, either with the blog post, either by answering questions on Stack Overflow, Quora, or on LinkedIn, even on any post you've done on LinkedIn relating to AWS. So you can always share that with them. So they are really looking for just anyone that is passionate about AWS and passionate about creating content. So when they take you now, they are going to mold you up into a content creator. That's what they are looking for. So if you are in the group, if you are here right now and you see it like something you really want to do, you can get started right now. In a couple of months, or definitely open another session to recruit more community builders, and you can just shoot your shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great addition. Thanks, Chi. Then let's go to the second question. Bhavesh also posted a second question here. Do we get AWS certificate, certificate voucher, I guess, or certificate discount if we are selected for AWS Community Builder program? Um, that's a good question, actually. So I don't think they officially promote it anywhere. So probably you will not find it that they provide either any discount for AWS certifications or like free vouchers. But you know what? About 1.5 years ago, so I'm my second year into this program. During the first tenure of this program, I was actually, or there was a official post in this Slack, in this community builders Slack space, which said or which promoted like we have some contingent of free vouchers for AWS certifications. If you are willing to claim one, get in touch with us or submit this form, something like this. And I did, and they actually granted it. So, and if I'm not mistaken, this voucher can be used like for any AWS certification. That's not necessarily a associate level or professional level. It's just like a free voucher. And Chi, have you heard anything like this? I think you are like second that you joined
Well,
second year. Maybe it was not the case by then. Go on.
no, once you're part of the community, then give you an opportunity to request a voucher. Like for any exam, you request 100% voucher. It depends on you. If you want to take an exam, you can request a voucher for them, and they'll give you 100% voucher. So it's on a request basis, but they do offer just one voucher per candidate. So it depends on which exam you really, really, really need. And once you know you are ready to take the exam, you can just send them an email and request for your voucher. It takes 1 week for the vouchers to be processed. So after 1 week, you're definitely going to get your voucher. Then you can register your exam.
That's a great news, actually. So, indeed, um, once you join the program, after maybe like a couple of weeks of looking around, you can either it will be announced or you can always try to ask the official organizer or the person who runs this program for this kind of voucher. That's actually great that Chi was also able to claim it. And even if I'm not like mistaken, that could be that you can like claim each year such a voucher while you are actively still in the program. So every year they take a reevaluate your contributions. There's probably, or most probably, there is a submission form, another submission form to prolong your membership there, and you have to again to submit uh, proofs of your contributions and so on, and they will decide again. Again, the second round is not that hard as well. Yeah, I mean, if you at least produce during the active first year of the membership any content whatsoever, like 2 3 items, could be like a video, could be a blog post, could be like some other contribution, I think the chances are really very high that they will keep you in the program. And try again, like once you go into the second year, try again to claim yet another voucher. Why not? That's probably will work mostly, I think so. I haven't tried like in the second year, but um, you know it's worth, definitely worth trying. So let's see. Matthias has a question. Are those ambassador programs tailored on individual, or is it possible to join as a company as well? That's another great question. So these are usually, or I think exclusively all of them are individual programs. But actually, with all major cloud providers or just general tech companies out there, for organizations, they have a partnership program. And in our third item here with AWS is more or less covering this partnership program. I will go into more details like on our third slide. Um, yeah, but that's, I will keep it in mind. I will just in general, Google has a partnership program going on. AWS has a partnership program going on. Microsoft for Azure, or generally, they have a partnership program going on. And to become one of their partners, you don't really have to pay anything. That's they have usually multiple tiers, and there's almost always the entry tier or the entry level, where you don't have to, as an organization, as a partner, you don't have to prove much contribution or commitment. You just become a contributor, or a partner. Sorry, partner is the right word here, and you're already. You can already call yourself, your organization, as a partner organization of Google or AWS or whatever. You can already use their logos in your portfolio or on your website. And once you drive more customers to these cloud providers, you have a chance to be upgraded on this tiers, in these different tiers. But that's pretty much like a different story. Maybe we have to have another conversation, like particularly on the partnership programs. But I guess most of our members are just single individual peoples, not really organizations. They don't represent any particular organizations. But that, anyways, I think the interest is still there, and I will think about it to put together something like a similar call, but already about partnership programs with cloud providers or any tech companies. Okay, hopefully I answered your question, Matthias, or we will go into details a little bit later as well. Let's see, we have a different question from Bhavesh. I have heard that if we certified for any associate level, we can get 50% discount for getting more certification. Not sure if it's the case. Okay, I don't really know the answer to this question. The third question here is, do we get swag and AWS?
Well, let me answer his
Go ahead.
question.
Yeah.
Let me answer his question. Yeah. Once you certify, it's not only for associate level certifications. Once you certify on any AWS set, they give you a 50% discount for the next certification you're going in for. That means, let's say you certify today for cloud practitioner and you're preparing for the associate level, you automatically get a 50% discount for the associate level certification you are going to take, and you can reclaim that discount on your AWS training and certifications website. You log into your account and go to your dashboard. From there, you can be able to reclaim that discount. So it's true.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Chi. I think it's generally like you don't have to be a member of Community Builders program. Whenever you pass,
Yeah, you don't have to be a member of a community program to have that discount. Once you've written any AWS certification and passed, you automatically have a 50% discount for the next certification you want to take.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's a general discount or general campaign by AWS whenever you pass any certification. And before claiming this 50% discount or using it, if you're in your second year, claim try first like to claim a second free voucher from this program. But I don't know, maybe you want to have like 3 certifications, and you can take like 2 free, and then the third one like 50% off. That's up to you. Yeah, the third question here, and I think it's good for clarification again. Bhavesh is asking, do we get swag and AWS credit every year on renewal? The answer is yes. Once you get renewed, you will be pretty quickly sent yet another swag. This year it was a backpack, I think. And you will get your 500% $500 AWS credit. Before it was like a physical card, like a credit card, such size. And nowadays it's just a code that will be sent over internet per email, I guess, and you can redeem it in your AWS account. What's pretty cool. You can do a lot of stuff with $500 credit. Okay, I think we covered all the questions here related to the AWS Community Builders. Let's move on and go to the second one. We have still more people joining. That's great. Okay, second program is AWS Heroes. Unfortunately, in this call, if I'm not wrong, we don't have any heroes, and that's really pity. Do we have any heroes here? Just asking everyone. If yes, say something. Seems like no, and that's clear. The entry level here is high. So this AWS Community Builders is like easy entry level. That's probably the only one in this whole presentation. The other ones are really you have to prove.
Hi, Karen. Sorry. Actually, there's one who has posted, Walid Shari, who has posted that he's unable to speak because he has sore throat of COVID, and he says he's a AWS containers hero. He posted a message actually in the chat.
Yeah, Sati, thanks so much. I see his message here. Walid Shari is on the call right here, and unfortunately he cannot speak, but he's a AWS containers hero. That's interesting, containers hero, and I will explain why it's such a funny name. So the generally AWS Heroes program is it has two different types. The first type here is community heroes. So it's kind of similar in a way to community builders program, but the requirement, this is my wild guess, requirement is higher, that you have to like be a really strong contributor. Maybe you have a YouTube channel dedicated to AWS alone, or you write a blog, like a regular blog or newsletter only about AWS in general terms, like as a platform, as a cloud computing platform, not a particular piece of AWS, like generally covering AWS. That's, I guess, where you will be able, or you can be nominated as a community hero, AWS community hero. But there is a second type, and it's called category heroes, and there are container heroes as our member here valid, but there are also other technologies related to AWS where you can become a category hero, so to say. Yeah, that's super interesting. So but again, you need to have like significant contribution to AWS. I guess there is no chance whatsoever that you will be selected basically only on your profile, that you have like a large following but no contribution to AWS platform whatsoever. So I think the chances are very thin there. And here you have a list and requirements. You have a list of places where you can collect this kind of contributions, where you have to be able to contribute and so on. If we talk about before it was like a community builders, the selection procedure is twice a year. I'm not sure how about AWS Community Heroes. I think the information I got is if someone nominates you, and this is like different from community builders, an Amazon employee should nominate you, or they should basically indicate that, yeah, this guy or this girl is like really pushing it really hard and like providing nice support and answering questions, generating some content, really outstanding and at what they are doing. And let's consider them for this program. But actually, if you are really active, you don't have to wait for it. If you are really active, there are plenty of AWS employees or Amazon employees on the LinkedIn. There are also, probably you have attended any conferences where you got to know the speaker who were Amazon employee. So get in touch with them, show them your content, ask them to nominate you. That would be like a shortcut. And a while, like, instead of waiting like for years and years until someone notices you. But again, even if you suggest someone to nominate you, that doesn't isn't the requirements. The requirements should be fulfilled, and it basically you should prove that you are contributing to AWS, either particular technologies or in general. But yeah, once you are there on this level, you can try, give it a try through an Amazon employee. Goodies, I don't know. Walid, if you have any, if you know, like I can come up with any goodies that are usual for this program, go ahead and post it into our chat, and we will look at the chat, and once you post it, we will share it with everyone. But my strong guess is that the contributions are most probably swag as well, probably also every single year. This kind of programs, they're very known for inviting this kind of heroes to particular conferences organized by AWS or summits. So that I think you can count on this one as well. And this kind of programs with high entry levels, the companies would usually share some insights. And it's partially also the case with the Community Builders program, but particularly with AWS Heroes, they would definitely share some insights which will be coming up, but not public yet. And maybe you can provide some kind of feedback to it, to the Amazon employees, or you can create content and publish it once the technology is out there. Maybe it's a new AWS service that they're about to launch soon. So something like this. They're very known, not only AWS but also other companies that do by providing kind of insights, exclusive insights. Okay, let's see if Walid has some. I don't see any input from Walid, but yeah, once it will be there, I think Walid can share it with us, and I will share it further. Okay, let's move on. Now the third program, it's called AWS Partner Ambassadors. And now, partially also answering the question by Matthias, this particular role or program is dedicated for partners. So what it means is that your organization where you are an employee should be an official partner of AWS. As I said before, becoming a partner is usually not a problem at all. But the problem is that they have different tiers. It's not a problem that we're talking about here, but it's a specific thing. And only partners who are in the advanced tier. Advanced is the second from the lowest one. So the lowest tier, don't remember exactly the name, but it's a free tier. You don't have any commitments. You just automatically become a AWS partner and you land there. The second tier, advanced one, is more demanding. You have to have some number of employees who are AWS certified, for example. This is what will make you an advanced partner, or maybe you have to generate certain revenue. You can look it up, like they have this partner program. It's kind of out of the scope of this conversation today, but yeah, if you are interested to become partner or you want to convince your employer to become a partner, that's usually not a big deal. But okay, only employees of AWS partners who are in an advanced tier or higher, they have one more tier higher than that, are able to or required to be there to be nominated again. It's actually not nomination. I will talk a little bit about it as well. So, and you have to have at least 2 AWS certifications to be able to submit yourself or suggest yourself as this kind of a partner ambassador. And they seem to have, that's not listed somewhere, but I personally figured out from employees who are responsible for this partner that you have to have at least 8 AWS community contributions. What again can be anything, could be a blog, could be a white paper, presentation, or I don't know, video tutorial, something like this. So the selection procedure is interesting. You have there is an email address listed here on the slide. You simply need to put together your profile, attach link to your LinkedIn if you have one, or Twitter, attach maybe your CV. I think it will boost your chances as well. But also use email address or once you create an email to send there, use your corporate email address, which will indicate that will have a name of the company inside in the domain basically of your email. It will also indicate to the employees of AWS that what partner are you applying from. Yeah, that's if again you have certifications, go ahead and submit your certifications there as well, link to your certifications. What else? Goodies are not unknown because I don't know personally any ambassadors, partner ambassadors. There's a list on the homepage of all ambassadors. Probably before submitting yourself there, go ahead and connect with anyone and ask like what are the pros and cons of this program if you wish. So the entry level is not very hard. I mean, you have to only comply with these requirements. Don't have to be like necessarily like a huge influencer or anything like this, but at least yeah, two certifications are required. That's someone has it, someone like still have to get it probably, so that will be a differentiator from different programs as well. I mean, even for AWS Heroes, if you have certifications and you submit them in your application process, that would be, I think, very beneficial. That's not a requirement at all for AWS Community Builders. There's no requirement at all for, or is they don't even hint at any certifications. If you have any, feel free to submit them as well there. Let's see, do we have any questions to either of the AWS programs? No, they seem not to be any questions open. So let's move on then. Yeah, Google Developer Experts. That's a pretty long program here. Like it's probably existing for the last 10 years or maybe shorter. I'm not sure when it has started, but the interesting thing about it, as much as I know, there is no general Google Developer Expert, like a general one, like as you would have it with, for example, Community Heroes here, AWS Community Heroes. That's more like a general one. Here with Google Developer Experts, you have to be an expert in a particular Google domain and or technology. And the list of the technologies are listed here. Interesting for us, cloud people, there is a technology called, obviously, Google Cloud Platform. It's still called this way, despite nowadays Google Cloud is just a Google Cloud. They dropped the platform word from it, but seems like it's not, has not been updated in their GDE program. Yeah, so if you are into cloud computing and Google Cloud, that's probably will be the technology you have to go after. Otherwise, they also have web technologies, and web technologies could be basically anything, like usually web programming or web development, and some other Google technologies. Basically, it's all revolving around Google technologies, what is just logical, right? Requirements. I don't think there are like very hard requirements. I listed what was written on their website here: solid expertise in area featuring Google technology, blah blah. You know, that's just like general things. So there are obviously Google Cloud certifications available. That will be probably a good indicator, or that will be helpful if you have passed any of them or in the application process to submit those. But I would say generally it's all the same as AWS Hero. You have to prove that you're an expert. You have to be visible. You have to be like active in this field on forums, on different like conferences or meetups, giving presentation about this particular technology. And again, the selection procedure here is case by case. It doesn't mean it means that there's no like a specific period where you have to apply and they will be selecting you. As much as I know, it's just case by case and ad hoc. If there is a interesting candidate, they will review it in a couple of weeks, I guess, and will get back to this person. But interesting thing about it, you cannot like apply directly there, as with community builders. You have to be nominated either by a Google employee or an existing expert. And the list of experts is actually there. There is a homepage below on the bottom of the slide, and you can go there and see all the, you can filter them. You can filter by Google Cloud platform technology and see who are across the world experts, Google experts in Google Cloud technology. You can get in touch with them if you know them anyways, like from the industry, and you think you are fulfilling these requirements, and you can hint to this person maybe to nominate you there. This is how it works with Google developer experts. Okay, do we have any questions here? Let's see. No, we don't have any new questions. That's nice. So goodies. As with many programs out there, like AWS Hero, AWS Partner Ambassador, also this Google developer experts, they will put your profile on their homepage, which will kind of showcase that you are an expert in this particular field. Maybe it will boost your career opportunities. I don't know. Probably will. But this kind of exposure is like really what is following all these different programs with very high entry level. That's not the case with community builders, AWS community builders. There are hundreds of them, and you will not be listed anywhere. I think maybe like on occasion mention you if you're really active somewhere on Twitter or LinkedIn posts, but that's pretty much it. Okay, we don't have here, if I'm not wrong, we don't have here any particular Google developer experts, I think, but there are plenty of them out there, and I'm pretty sure you can get in touch with any if you have any interest to become one. And don't be surprised that like Google is a interesting company. Like that's usually not enough just to be an expert in a particular field to be nominated as such and get this title. That they're like they would look for underrepresented groups or like underrepresented locations. Like for example, they would look for female applicants or diverse applicants, and they would give them a go usually, and will probably skip a couple of male candidates because it seems like they have a particular number of people they can accommodate there in this kind of programs. So this is what I have observed, and I was in touch with many Google developer experts who, or some candidates who wanted to, like really wanted to become a Google developer expert and tried really hard, like gave, I don't know, like maybe every month a presentation or a speech, or I don't know, like many different activities, and still they were not able to get into this program for some reason. And the reason is not known. They will not usually provide you a honest feedback. They will just say, no, we cannot like let you in as of now, apply later or something like this. Yeah, that's tricky sometimes. Okay, let's move then to the next one. The next one, oh, by the way, on YouTube, there is a pretty good video of one guy who is like producing a lot of video content around Firebase. Firebase is a Google technology, but also about many other technical topics. So, and he has a particular video which is called how to become a Google developer expert or something like this. Once I will find it, I will also share it in a follow-up message to all of you, along with the slides and the recording of the presentation. But that's definitely worth watching. I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes of content with some hints how to become Google developer expert. Okay. Let's move now to the Microsoft program. It's called Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. That's a really old one. I don't know if it's probably even the oldest one here in the during the whole presentation, like across all programs. I indicated as an entry level as high. I'm not sure. It could be like slightly lower than high. And we have similarly to Google, we have this kind of, they call it categories. It's not technologies. And there is a list of categories here on the slide. The good thing or the interesting thing for us particularly is that they have a category for Microsoft Azure, what is their cloud platform, and we are a cloud community. So that's probably something interesting for you if you want to go for an MVP in Microsoft Azure. Requirements. I just copied all this blah blah from their homepage, and that's just a general, general stuff. There's no specific requirements. It's all around, again, being helpful to the community, creating and putting out some content in the form of talks, blog posts, podcasts, whatever, like guest articles. You can be really creative. It's usually not very restrictive what you can produce as content. So yeah, go ahead and use your creativity, but make sure that it's not just only one or two pieces of content. That's rather like something substantial, like maybe 10 items, different items you can prove there. And similarly to GDE program, Google Developer Expert, it's also the selection procedure is they will review it on a case-by-case manner, and it's similarly to Google. Either a full-time employee, and they have really this this term, full-time employee. So if it's a part-time student, probably they are not nominated to, they are not allowed to nominate you. But basically a normal Microsoft employee, or another active MVP. So MVP program is really old again. I keep saying it, and there are many MVPs which are not active anymore, and they have still some swag or some title from Microsoft, but it's not current. They are not currently. They don't possess this MVP status currently. Maybe it was like 10 years ago they were granted. So these people, these old MVPs who are not active anymore, they will not be counted. They are probably also not involved in the MVP support channels, whatever they have there. So again, either a Microsoft employee should recommend you or another MVP. On the homepage, they have an overview of all active MVPs, maybe even like historical MVPs who are not active anymore, but just make sure that these are active ones if you want to ask for a recommendation. Goodies, I'm not an MVP. That's hard to say, and they don't really advertise. Usually in neither programs they advertise goodies. This is like something like as a byproduct what you get, but I'm pretty sure they will be listing you on their homepage under this mvp.microsoft.com, and yeah, mostly they would sometimes you would see. Oh, nice way to figure out what MVPs or any other like ambassadors are getting. Look it up on Twitter. The people usually like post their swag or their goodies once they receive it, and at least once per year they select this kind of people usually. So look it up. I think there is some nice. I don't know, like some nice glass creatures that they get, particularly with the MVP, with laser engravement or something like this. But yeah, that's something you can look it up. Yeah, that's another major ambassador program that is not particularly involved with any specific company. Cloud Native Ambassadors, for short CNA. And the association here is with the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. If you're into cloud computing, probably you should know this organization. That's a foundation. That's not a company itself, not a commercial company at least. But you know, it's a kind of, you can think of it as an umbrella. This foundation, it has many cloud related and not only cloud related projects under its umbrella. For one, probably the most popular one is the Kubernetes is a part of their program as well, and many other interesting, usually I think mostly open source technologies out there. They are members of the CNCF. So specific thing about this program that they also have different technologies, and the technologies are basically the projects they're associated with. Under everything what is hosted under this umbrella are the technologies basically, and there are plenty of them. And here and on the website they have a list of technologies which they're actively looking for ambassadors for these particular programs. And this is not programs, technologies. This is Containered, Core DNS, Fluent, gRPC, Kubernetes. Oh, Kubernetes is still in demand for the ambassador program. That's nice. Linkered, Open Tracing, Prometheus is also there, and some other maybe. So if you are not particularly like responsible or proficient in this particular program that is listed there or technology, you can still try your luck with some other technologies which are hosted under this umbrella of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. Yes, requirements. It's pretty much like the same thing. You have in advance to create some content and prove it to them, show it to them, being a blogger or a speaker, talking about it, and show your willingness that you have like plans how to expand your content, what kind of media you want to cover in the future, and so on. I know at least couple of ambassadors, and this program is not new. It's going on like for I don't know, like at least 5-6 years, maybe longer. And I heard that it was rather easier before to get into the Cloud Native Ambassador program. Now the selection procedure is like more strict, but and it's very much dependent. It's really hardly dependent on what technologies you choose. So you might have much better chances with a particular technology, but worse chances with another one, maybe because the competition for this another one is like much higher. And for this first one, it's like almost no one is applying, you know. But how to figure it out, I don't know. You have to get in touch probably with some people either directly involved in this organization or maybe existing ambassadors, and maybe have like a chilled conversation with them. Maybe they will share with you some insights. But this program is also very reputable. As a goodie, they will also list you. I think they have a swag store. They might share with you some kind of voucher or some credit where you can get some swag from their store. Stuff like this is definitely there. They will also list you on their homepage. Selection procedure, case by case, as with many other programs, and you can nominate yourself. You don't necessarily need a reference from an existing employee or existing ambassador. Maybe it's more beneficial if you have like a recommendation or a reference. I don't know. And if you know anyone who would recommend you, yeah, just mention them as well, or ask this person to submit it in their name, suggesting you to become an ambassador. Why not? And the homepage you can find below as well. Let me just quickly check if you have any questions whatsoever. By the way, feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions related to these 6 programs that we covered. Okay, if you don't have questions, then let's go to the last slide here. And the last one is just a list of other potentially interesting programs that you might be interested in. We don't have very specific description of them, but there are links to the home pages. If you go there, you can find all the details, and just apply there as well, if it's possible. Sometimes you have to be recommended or referenced by someone. So let's start with Oracle. Oracle is another tech company. It's not only cloud. It actually has moved rather recently to the cloud computing, but it's also known for many other technologies like databases and so on. So they have an ACE program called I couldn't even find what ACE mean. Probably it's just a word in itself. It doesn't have any description, or like it's not seem not to be an abbreviation for anything. I don't know. But yeah, the selection procedure is, it's not very straightforward, as with many other programs here. So basically, if you feel that you have some content to show, there's, I think, if I'm not wrong, there's an email address that you have to contact, or there's a submission form, and you can just simply try your chances. I know a couple of people who tried it, and they didn't have like much of the existing content related to Oracle or Oracle Cloud, and they were rejected. So that's not like very low-hanging fruit probably with Oracle to get involved there, as I will probably, that would be more beneficial if you have some existing content, and not only like promising that you will create an amazing content for them in the future. So Docker Captains, that's also interesting one. Docker is a company behind Docker containers, and Docker containers are super popular among developers and also in the cloud computing world. And they have so-called captains. This is like many companies out there, as you probably see, they have different names for this ambassador programs. That's also makes it difficult sometimes to find like what kind of similar program a particular company would have, because they're just using different names. It could be like a captains. Sometimes it's called champions, sometimes it's called ambassadors, or they could use any kind of exotic names for this. MVP is also kind of, Microsoft is known for MVP, but Alibaba Cloud is also using MVP abbreviation. Okay, so Docker captains, the current captains can be seen on this homepage, and you can look up what are the requirements for applications there. Ibm Champions are also existing. I haven't heard much about them, but yeah, interesting. And I guess there is also a category among IBM champions for IBM Cloud or cloud computing within IBM. But again, that's not like, I don't think that's super valued by the job market, or like generally. Haven't seen many champions out there, but there's a list of champions. You can look it up and see what are the requirements. Don't have much experience to share with you, particularly on this program. Alibaba Cloud Most Valuable Professional. That's an interesting one. They're very much like mimicking a Microsoft here, like the same subdomain, the same name of the program. I do have some experience, and that's interesting. Like that's a rather new program. I think that's like 3-4 years old, maybe 5. I don't know, but it exists, and there are a pretty good number of people who are being selected every year, and I think they do it twice a year, if I'm not mistaken completely. The chances are super high there. There are plenty of Alibaba Cloud certifications that they just spit out like for free, like on every occasion. If you attend any of their virtual conferences, you will probably be able to claim a free certification. And just claiming and passing these exams or certifications, which are super easy peasy. It's like so at least entry level ones, and quality of exams. I mean, I can sing you a song about Alibaba Cloud. There are so many things that can be improved with them, but generally, my experience from Alibaba Cloud MVP program, that's really super easy to get into. They would not ask like for particular type of content to create, but more like a ask questions, answer questions, like have a suggestions. They have like a particular separate platform for questions. If you have any questions related to Alibaba Cloud, you can ask them there. And for just simply asking questions which are hopefully relevant or useful or helpful, that's also counts as a content creation. And then you can ask or answer anything on Stack Overflow. You can create like a short video about any particular Alibaba Cloud technology or anything. So basically, like if you have like collect 3 to 5 content pieces over time and apply there, the chances are super high. And they also look at the regions where they have like more demand. Europe is, I think, is like super interesting for them. Americas as well. I think Asia is pretty saturated with Alibaba Cloud because this is their main market. Probably they're not looking for so many people in Asia to become MVPs, but Europe and Americas should have like really good chances. That's pretty much about cloud computing stuff. There are also programs for students, like these are only for students. You cannot get there if you're not a student, obviously. There is a Google Developer Student Clubs lead, pretty long name. Look it up. I think the chances are very high if you're a student, if you want to run like this kind of webinars that we do today. Not a webinar, it's supposed to be discussion turned to be a webinar. That's pretty easy, I think. There you have to be associated with a specific university where there are no currently developer student clubs leads, I guess. I don't know for sure, but yeah. The chances are high to get there involved there. Microsoft has another one called Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. The homepage is there. Check it out. I'm not a student anymore. I don't know the specifics about this particular program. And there is a GitHub Campus Expert. You can also check it out and see what kind of goodies. And they have plenty of goodies to give for students generally, and particularly for this program as well. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it, what I wanted to share with you today. These are our community locations. We have pretty much on every social media out there. What I will do as well, I will share the slides, and the recording will be also available in the follow-up message. And I will also share the video which I mentioned about Google Developer Experts, how to get into it by some knowledgeable guy who became actually GDE and is sharing his experience in this video. Let's see. Let's check out quickly the questions. Ali is asking, will this be recorded? It's being recorded right now, and it's being streamed right now. So right now, by going into our YouTube channel, you will find the stream there, which will stay there and serve as a recording. Yeah, the link to the slides will be provided. Victor is asking, it will be provided right now in the chat, and also everywhere else in the follow-up or under this video recording once it's finished. Let's see, what do we have else? That's pretty much it for now. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask. We still have a couple of more minutes if you want to spend them on Q&A. Otherwise, there are even more programs. So make sure at the beginning of on our front slide, you will find a link to our repository, GitHub repository, where you will find again all these links and even some more programs which are available to the general public. If you have any insights or want to share anything like this with us, feel free to do it in our repository. Okay. So thank you for taking part in this call, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time in the next call. Take care, stay safe, and see you next time. Bye bye.